All right, and we are live. What's going on, everybody? This is Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist, and coming at you from San Diego today, and we are dealing with some rain. Not a big shocker, but we were forecast to have 5 days straight, so we are on day 2. I just got back from Walmart. It's not nearly as bad as the news would have you believe, but in some areas, it does get tedious. All right, today I'm going to talk about creative motivation. I'm going to talk about why certain people should chase their crazy dreams. I'm going to talk about my own journey. I'm going to talk about what to do when you feel like you've lost your creative spark, or you're not inspired. We're going to get into some mindset stuff, and I'm going to help you guys to rediscover your why, as Simon Sinek would say. All right, there we go. All right, so before we get started, let's give shout outs to the sponsors. Of course, I'm going to start off with Mike's Damascus Knives. Bam! Check this out. You need high quality cutlery. Mike makes amazing knives for kitchen use, industrial, or tactical, whatever your cutlery needs may be. Mike will provide a solution with his incredible work. Hand forged with premium materials. This is his tactical knife he made for me and put my name on it like a gentleman. Custom sheath, little clip so it can fit on my belt when I'm walking around. Check him out, mikesdamascusknives.com. Unbelievable quality, and I use his knives all the time for cooking. Really happy with his work. Okay. And while we're at it, let's give a media shout out. From the Ashes Radio, hosted by Rob Williams, great guy, veteran. Every Monday at 5 p.m. PST, coming at you from, I believe, Colorado. From the Ashes Radio is an incredible show. I've been doing some promotion work for them. We both support each other in our endeavors as media owners, and I really like the format of the show. They got great guests, and the show itself is a very good kind of an insight into veteran culture and veteran life. Really enjoyed my viewing of their stuff. All right, so let's just jump into it. Today I had an interesting experience, and it was as I was driving to Walmart after the gym, I got on the freeway at 8 o'clock, and I literally got stuck in traffic. Everyone was commuting to work, and I just started laughing. And it was raining, and the cars weren't moving, and I was getting on the 15 North, and I actually started laughing because I don't have to do that anymore. And there's a huge lesson there, because when I was working corporate, I had an hour commute each way. No matter what time I would get up, no matter what time I would leave home or leave work, I would be sitting in my car for an hour each way, sometimes longer. And I realized that's not for me. And things started to go through my head because, first of all, I'm grateful for my corporate experience. And this isn't a message that everybody that has a day job is a sucker or anything like that, right? Hard work builds character. But for a lot of people, especially veterans, you've got a bigger dream on the horizon, whatever it may be. And don't be scared to chase it. So like I said, if you like the stability of a paycheck, if you like working for somebody, if you like having a regular 9-to-5 job, that's fine. I'm all for it, right? I would never tell people not to work at a regular job if it's what makes them happy or what they need for their, feed their family, whatever. I'm not one of those guys. But I'll tell you, if you're a creative and you've got an entrepreneurial dream, whatever it may be, maybe you want to be a business owner, maybe you want to own a magazine, maybe you want to start your own company, maybe you want to sell high quality, water containers, beverage containers like James Schneider, or you want to sell coin display racks like Phil Cook. You need to go for it, because there's nothing worse than getting to the end of your life and realizing, okay, why didn't I chase that? whatever your thing may be, right? Anytime I was in a cubicle, I always had a dream of just being my own boss. I didn't do well in work teams. I didn't do well with corporate culture. I didn't like going to lunch with 8 people and cramming my way into a booth so I could eat and then nearly fall asleep at like 1 p.m. Right? I hated corporate culture. I hated, so I'm not going to lie, I won't say hate, but I didn't agree with some of the management styles of the people that I worked for. I did have some great bosses as well. Kevin from ASML Cymer was just about the best boss I've ever had in my life. And I have some stellar leaders in the Air Force. Don't get me wrong. I really respect him. I've never had a bad supervisor in the Air Force. But I've also had some bosses that ruled by fear. And I don't believe in that. I don't believe in workplace bullying. I don't believe in flexing your rank or your position to get, more out of your workers. I believe in dynamic leadership by example. And so because I didn't fit in personally with corporate culture, I went out on my own. I chased my dreams. And it sucked. For a lot of people, they get this vision and they think it's going to be easy out the gate, and it's not. Making your own money, making every single decision, going out on your own and supporting yourself, it's going to be one of the hardest things you ever do. And 90% of people can't hack it. And I'll tell you, most businesses fail within the first 5 years. And I'm not saying this to be negative. I'm saying this to be realistic. Because although I chased my dreams and I've done pretty well so far, it's not for everybody. And I've had to go back to corporate a few times. I know a lot of people have had to go back to a day job while they figure out their business model, and there's no shame in that. Hey, you tried. You gave it your best effort. But as I sat there today in traffic, I was laughing because I didn't have to be there, right? All these other people on the freeway, 85% of them are going to a job they hate, not getting paid what they're worth, working for somebody they probably don't like very much. And if they're making a ton of money and they love their boss and their coworkers are great and their job is perfect, awesome, I'm happy for them. But guess what? I don't know a single person like that. I don't know anybody whose job is ideal and checks all the boxes. That's why it's called work. It's a 4-letter word. So if you are one of those people that wants freedom, chase that goofy dream. We got Frank Manto popping on. And I got a couple people like Matthew Corrigan, and I'm going to share your stories actually, guys. I'm glad you're popping on. Thank you. Sometimes I just see a person, it triggers a story in my head, and it helps with the ongoing monologue with the way that I broadcast. Frank had a dream about taking a concept, because the old joke is that Marines are crayon eaters. And for years and years, Frank knew he could make an edible crayon out of chocolate, but it had to have certain standards. It's not something you can just do overnight. And Frank had to go through distributors and chemists and all kinds of roadblocks and setbacks. But Frank won. And Frank's like me. He's a creative. He believes strongly in his vision. And he's now at the point where his company got their prototype out there, made a bunch of sales. Frank did a cross-country tour, and crayons ready to eat is a very real thing. And trust me, Frank was laughed at. He probably had a lot of people telling him that this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You're going to fail. And Frank and I subscribe to a very simple mantra: too dumb to quit. And it's not a bad thing. It just means that we are locked and loaded, one vision, believing in the future, believing in what can be done versus what people think can't be done. People told me not to make a magazine, said I'd waste my time, said I wouldn't make any money, said all kinds of stuff. 6 years later, still in business, still making money, interviewed celebrities, get a lot of event invites for free. I don't know, it seems to be working out for me. So I'll tell you, whatever your creative endeavor is, run with it. Don't worry about what people think. In fact, don't tell anybody about it. Just get out there and do it. Execute. Matt Corrigan made a very good point. Matt serves with me. Matt serves with me in the Air Force. He's a great officer. He's taught me a lot of stuff. We don't see each other a lot, but when we do, it's a good time. He's a great guy. But Matt went to Amazon, tried it for a while, and like he said in comments, the money was good, but he wasn't satisfied, and they were probably working him insane amounts of hours because Amazon's relentless. I would never want anybody to work for Amazon ever for any reason because their corporate culture is awful. That's just my 2 cents. And that goes 10 times for warehouse work, like just grunt level warehouse work. I don't care how much money they pay. I think I'd rather be on a road crew or a tow truck driver again than work for Amazon because they have invested so little in the quality of life for their workers and the company culture. So getting back, and I'm broadcasting to LinkedIn, by the way, and that's really where I'm hoping that people will see this, especially veterans. If you're in an office right now, or you have some type of job that you took just to get a paycheck, you're not happy, you're not living your dreams, just start building them slowly. Okay? It won't happen overnight, but it will happen if you work hard enough and you surround yourself with smart people and you work on your mental health and you work on your mindset and you self-develop. I am living proof. I'm literally working from my home for whoever I want, getting paid what I'm worth, and I have complete and utter time freedom. And I'll tell you, it is a great feeling. Never doubt yourself. Never doubt your intelligence. If you have this burning desire inside you to do something greater than what you've ever done, maybe you just want to start a podcast. Maybe you just want to start a magazine. Maybe you just want to sell tactical Beagle vests. It's always my example. Just makes me laugh for some reason. Then freaking do it. Start off small. Don't quit your day job because you need funding. You need stability. Okay? I did some very high-risk things in the early stages of my visibility and PR career, but because I didn't have a family and I was single, nobody was depending on me. So I could take bigger risks. I could invest in my company. I could, not have gas or meat for 8 days while I was building this, this company. But I'll tell you, if you stick with it long enough and you work on constant improvement and you're willing to put in the extra hours, you can do amazing things. Don't listen to negative people. Don't broadcast out to the world what you intend on doing. Because people are going to get in your head. They're going to come at you with a Hannibal Lecter level of negativity that will make you doubt yourself. You'll go through imposter syndrome if you're not a sociopath. You'll have doubts about yourself. You'll think, oh, I should just take the easy path, quit, and just work for somebody for the rest of my life. I'm not cut out for this. And for some of you guys, that's going to be your destiny, and that's fine. Don't die unfulfilled. If you go to your cubicle and you have a sense of dread, you go to your office and you're like, Jesus, I have to do this again, or you don't look forward to going to work, start planting a seed. Start off small. Get some revenues generating. And once you have surpassed your salary for 3 months straight, you've proven the model and you can go. And then you just improve the business model. Right now, if you look in comments, I'm seeing a lot of people that proved their business model and succeeded. I'm seeing Christine Walker from At Ease Magazine. I'm seeing Frank Manteau from Crayons Ready to Eat. I'm seeing Lori McNeil, who became the queen of media. All of these businesses came from their minds. They didn't exist before these people showed up. Okay? Shift Magazine came from my mind in 2016. And I got a lot of negative feedback. And do you know why people give you negative feedback? Because when you tell them your big idea, whatever it's going to be, in a microsecond, they know they couldn't do it. And it terrifies them. And they're going to say some really negative shit to you to try and talk you out of it because of their own fears. I had a millionaire, multi-millionaire, tell me not to make my magazine. And I did it anyway. This isn't the most professional phrase, but I've lived by this for years. It's just 3 words. Fucking watch me. And when you get that, that should be a shirt, actually. But when you get that mindset, you start to realize that the hesitations and the shitty mindsets of other people, the poverty mindsets, and the fears that they display have nothing to do with you. So you need to get out there. You need to surround yourself with positive people that share your vision. Maybe join a mastermind, maybe a coaching group, maybe hire a coach, but have a plan for growth. And you'll have the genuine enthusiasm to win because people get behind winners. We got Donnell Johns, who is an unbelievable entrepreneur. Glad to see you, buddy. And we got Matt Corrigan saying, start the quiet side hustle and jump when it makes sense. Yeah. And Joe says, fear is the opposite of faith. So once you've jumped in the water and you've got your concept out there, it's very important that you have a growth plan. And it's very important to not get into the mindset of, oh, I'm not doing well because this person's super successful. Why am I not having those numbers or those revenues or that income? It's important to remember whatever you're working on, especially if you're a creative, just upgrade, improve, try new things. And sometimes you have to throw spaghetti at the wall. I still do it once in a while. What do? I try new things. Maybe I'm going to learn TikTok, or maybe I'm going to hire somebody to make me marketing materials, or maybe a new graphic designer. Maybe I'll start an email campaign, whatever. But you have to do things that create patterns of growth. And you cannot get to a point where you just wake up and are reactive to stuff. You have to be proactive. There's a huge difference. Okay. Once you get to the point where you're just waking up and you're checking your emails and you're kind of just going through the motions, the company flatlines. You have to be proactive. And this means having a growth mindset. It means strategizing for your next moves, your next quarter. What are you going to do to get more sales, to get more eyes on your company, to get more growth? Maybe you got to get rid of something that costs you money. Maybe you have to do a better tax strategy. Maybe you have to bring on some short-term contracted employees, whatever. But the point is, you have to have a proactive attitude in order to grow your business. And trust me, I'm practicing what I'm preaching. Christine Walker says, don't let others in different industries dictate your scale and growth. My industry is very different from coffee industry. That's a great piece of advice, Christine. And trust me, I have a lot of people that have never run a magazine try and give me advice. And I'm just like, awesome. How many magazines have you published? Because I've published quite a few in my 6 years. None. Okay. Well, your advice sucks because you have no foundation. You have no experience. You just have an opinion. Awesome. So does everybody else in the world. Next. Frank says, read books. Trust me, I was that guy that said, I don't read books. Was I wrong? Started reading, listening. Shit changed. Yeah. Find something, Frank. And you did some 10X stuff. I saw that a while back, and that's good. Need something. For me personally, I'm always giving shout outs to The Nuclear Effect by Scott Oldford. It's the best business book I've ever read. Scott's a legit genius. He's not a guru. He's one of those guys that legitimately has created multiple 7-figure businesses. The Nuclear Effect talks about the 6 areas of a business that you need to focus on, and it has actionable steps. It honestly, like, Scott's not a client or anything. I have no reason to promote his stuff financially. I just always share the best stuff that is in my world. I interviewed Scott for Shift a couple years ago, and he's everything he says he is. Great guy. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because I have some client stuff I have to do. But I was just super inspired today sitting in traffic because, like I said, that used to be me. That used to be me sitting in traffic at 8 in the morning, miserable, cussing out other cars, moving at the slow-ass speed of traffic versus having complete freedom. And I'll tell you guys, your creativity can make you rich. Your creativity can make you more money than you've ever thought of. I despise Dave Portnoy. I think he's just about the biggest douchebag on the planet. But that idiot made Barstool Sports and is a multimillionaire because of it. That's creativity. He created a movement around his vision. He found a bunch of smooth brain, knuckle dragging morons. And I do admire what the foundations of what he did. As a person, I think he's a dirtbag. But I do admire his vision, his creativity, his growth. And I do want to throw my coffee in his face. Let me be really clear. But the point is, whatever your project is, think about the audience. Think about how to get people behind you. Think about how to make people love what you do by guiding them to a better place in their life. I have every intention of growing Shift into a major magazine and helping out every other magazine owner I know, like Christine or like Ryan, who just launched his own veteran magazine, or Lori McNeil or Laura Candewan, any magazine owner out there. I will help them grow because I only see blue ocean. I fear no competitor, and those guys aren't my competitors. They're my peers. So, in summary, whatever your idea is, go for it. Don't tell anyone. Just make those small steps. Map it out. And if you're watching this, if you're on LinkedIn and you don't know who I am, I was a tech writer for 10 years. I'm a 23-year Air Force veteran, and I just got sick of the cubicle. It wasn't for me. I'm wildly creative. I have a severe learning disability. I've been called stupid my entire life. Failed out of high school, failed out of 2 colleges, I ended up getting a PhD. I don't readily subscribe to the hand that life dealt me. And I chased my stupid dreams, and I won. This is why I'm sitting in my house at 9:46 a.m. on a Tuesday. And I want the same for you guys. If you want it bad enough, you can make it happen. And there's no pitch. There's no upsell. Not a guru. I'm just here to tell you, if I did it, and I'm not the smartest person on the planet, but if I did it, so can you. So anyway, that's all I got for today. But I hope you look at the people in comments like Frank, Christine, Joe, Matt, all these people that are out there doing great things. And if you got a goofy dream, chase it, pursue it, monetize it, use it to make the world a better place. The rest will write itself. That's all I got for today. Thank you so much, guys. It's good to see everybody. If this message meant something to you, please share this video. Tag some people that you feel will be inspired by it. I never want people to give up their 9 to 5 if it's their passion. But I want them to find what makes them happy. I'm pretty happy. And I want to share that with others. All right. See you guys next time. As always, stay famous. Talk soon.